What happened? Can't hear nothing. Okay. We're live. Thank you. Hey, what's up, Pablo? Cinco. Hello, hello. Bueno, bueno. What up? What up, David? Hey, we're right here. Hey, I want to go ahead and welcome David and Jesse should be coming on in the next moment or two. They're okay. He's here. He's ready. All right, all right. Um, they're Oh, you know what? You guys talk right now. I want to make sure the audio is coming through. If you guys are on TikTok or YouTube, can you guys let me know that you guys could hear? If you guys could hear all of us. So like, because I know last time we had some technical issues, so I want to make sure before we start, everything's coming in clearly.
Well, you know the messed up part about the last time, James, is that when the audio was out, I had actually given you the secret to life. I want you to know that.
Hey, well, the important part is
Yeah.
that I heard it, and as long as I'm good, that's what matters.
There you go. Yeah, but what about the viewers?
Hey, I got him. I'm gonna take care of them. I gotta, work them up to it. So now they're gonna be asking, hey, what's the secret now? And that's gonna be a brand new episode. So stay tuned.
You're just gonna as soon as they ask you that, you're just gonna shake your head and do that little thing across your neck. Don't ask. That was tripping.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, I made a fatal mistake and I asked that question. Never been the same. You got that 1,000-yard stare now.
Man, I know what you're talking about.
Yep, that's what it is, man. But how you doing?
Man, I've been good. We went out to North Carolina last week. We were out there for like 4 or 5 days. It's definitely an eye opener. Being in that part of the country, being out there in the sticks or the country, and it was interesting. We got some old fashioned racism. That's something that I'm not accustomed out here out west. So.
They were like, "Hey, check it out, brown boy. You're gonna have to go sit in the back of the restaurant."
Not, you know what? It wasn't like that, So, and luckily, it happened more to my wife for some reason. I'm not sure, but I'll give you an example. So,
because they needed you to cut their grass, they didn't want you to go fuck up their landscape.
Is she here to cut the lawn too? She ain't working.
Yeah. I don't see her moving a rake or a lawnmower, so I'm gonna need her to take a walk.
Somebody get that woman a squeegee.
Man, you guys ain't lying.
Somebody get her some Windex and some newspapers.
Hey, I'm just trying to have a meal, sir. Aren't you back there supposed to be washing the dishes, boy?
Yeah. Ain't you supposed to be washing dishes, business? How about you and Pedro enter the back entrance?
Where's her feather duster?
Oh man,
where's your feather duster?
Oh, I could go on and on. All right,
man,
go ahead.
So luckily I didn't walk into some, but we went to Walmart because she wanted to pick some stuff up, like some bottled waters and some ibuprofen for my daughter. So
yeah,
they were looking for the ibuprofen 800, but they don't sell those. For the 800s you need to have a prescription. So she went. I think the highest dose they got is the 200s. So she went up.
Yeah, over the counter.
Yeah, over the counter. So she went up. She went up to the consultation window. She wanted to speak to the pharmacist because she wanted to either double them up or triple them up, but she wasn't sure. What would be the best dose to give her. So she goes up to the consultation window, and so she's waiting there, and finally, one of the cashiers or pharmacy technicians comes up to her. And she's like rude, like, hey, like what do you need? And then,
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
and my lady's like, well, I want to speak to the pharmacist. And then her response was, well, she's back there.
Go ahead. Yeah.
And my wife was like, well, like, what do you want me to do? You want me to go back there and grab her? I mean, there's a partition right here where, you know, are you going to get her or what? So the girl just walks away and she doesn't do anything. So then another cashier went, you know, came over and this one she was nice. And you know, she asked my wife if she needed help. She was like, yeah, she needed a consultation. So that pharmacy tech went up to the pharmacist and let her know that, you know, there was a consultation on the window. So my lady told, explained to the pharmacist that she had a bottle of 200 milligram ibuprofen, and that she wanted to either double up or triple up my daughter, you know, what would be like an acceptable dose, you know, for her age. And then, so then the pharmacist, you know, grabs the bottle and she's like, well, like, didn't you read this? And my lady was like, I know how to read, you know, I'm asking for your assistance, you know, like, I have a kid, you know, she needs some medication. So this is a consultation window, right? So, and she just reads the you know, the label off the box. And then she puts the bottle down and she just shakes. She leaves, and my lady's like looking at her like, what the hell? And then so then my lady was staring down the pharmacist, and then she made my lady ended up telling her like, man, like something about being racist or whatever. And she looked at her dead in the eye. The pharmacist looked away, and my lady ended up, you know, she ended up leaving. So she comes back to the car and, you know, she's breaking it down to me, and I'm like, damn, that's a trip. You know, because that's something I'm not used to, like out here, you know, out west. It doesn't happen like that. So it's definitely an eye opener. So I reached out to my cousin, and I was like, you know, and I explained to him what happened. He was like, you know, because my cousin, he lives out there. He's been out there for some years in North Carolina. He was like, you know what it is that the part, you know, because we're in some place called Lumberton, and he was like, a lot of the people that go out there and ask for assistance or whatnot, they don't know how to read, or they, you know, pretty much they don't know how to read. So when they go up there and, you know, for a consultation, that's why they treat them like that, because they don't know any better. So we come from a different place where we carry ourselves differently. So they're not used to the way we react. And then I told my lady, I was like, you know what, next time, like, this is the way you got to handle it, you know, to let them know, you know, you gotta give them the same energy, you know, that they're bringing you, and you gotta dumb it down, you know, to them, like the way they're doing it to us. But other than that, I mean, it was good, you know, like we went out there, we went to this place called the Waffle House. They got these gasoline stations called Wawas that I guess they're big. So, you know, we got to experience some new things that we normally wouldn't experience out here in the West Coast, besides, you know, a little bit of racism.
He went to the Waffle House, and the freaking, it was spelled with a J, huh? He was in the Mexican side of town, huh? Waffle House.
Yeah. So basically, your primo was like, "Hey, check out. Next time they come like that, you can't be like, all right then, boss."
Pretty much, yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
That's funny. Well, I mean, it's not funny. It's very sad. All viewers out there, anybody that hears this, like, for shame, lumberjack, North Carolina,
Lumberton, and I forgot the name of the other place. There's a school out there, and that's the reason we're out there. And but yeah. I mean, you know, we're out there for 5 days. We came back, and then, you know, I had to, you know, come back to work. So I definitely wasn't looking forward to that either. So.
Was it snowing out there?
No, surprisingly, it wasn't. My daughter was mad. My 6-year-old, she was mad because the week before we went out there, it was snowing. So when we got out there, she was like, "Papa, where's the snow?" And I was like, "There's no snow." And she started crying. She was like, "I want snow. You told me there was gonna be snow." Like, I can't. You know, I'm not the weather person. So the next trip we could take, she said we got to take her to some snow.
Oh yeah, you owe your little girl some snow.
Yeah, you owe her some snow. For me, like, you in trouble, snowman.
Yeah. For sure.
Hey, his primo was like, "Hey, next time you're in there, you gotta be like, yes, boss, I'm ready, boss."
No, you gotta walk up in there and be like, just have that disgusted look on your face, you know, like, you know, say, "Can't you read? It says consultation desk."
Yeah, I would have told him, from the jump, I would have been like, "Hey, I come from a sanctuary state. You don't get to talk to me like that."
Yeah. you gotta be careful over there though. You'll end up in freaking Guantanamo.
No, hey,
your ass up over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my cousin told me, he was like, you know what? He was like, the gavas out there, they're like the people, you know, from out here from LA. So, you know, if you get into them, they're ready to go heads up out there. So he was like, just beware, you know, like you're gonna get some you know, some corn fed dude wanting to go heads up with you if you know you choose the wrong words.
Fighting.
Yep. Yeah, so
They're fighting a heartbeat.
They'll go fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs.
Real quick.
Yep. Boy, it's time for you to leave.
Throw down, boy.
Yeah, throw down, boy.
Yeah.
Stuff to me like your teeth and your mouth are running a little bit right now. You're in the middle of the street. Yeah.
James got himself into a duel.
Yeah.
then what?
Oh, Yeller Belly.
Yeah. You will get your yellow belly teeth off my lawn.
James, don't tell me you went out Yeller, James.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Hey.
Had the pharmacist out in the middle of the street doing a fisticuff with James.
Yeah, come on.
I don't know how they do it where you come from, Pablo, but this is North Carolina.
Hey, you know what? And that's exactly how they sound. Hey, Jesse definitely got that accent down right there.
He does, yeah. He was born with that accent. It's weird. He talks like he's from Oklahoma. He does. That's his accent. That's actually how he talks.
Hey, you know what's funny though is my homeboys from my barrio used to always be like, man, fool, you the only motherfucker in Indio that got a country motherfucking twang.
He does. He got the country twang, yeah.
Yeah. You know what's crazy though is I have a carnala that lives in North Carolina. She's been out there forever, I guess. She actually has her own. She breeds dogs. They're called Carolina Retrievers.
Mm-hmm.
She has her own breeding. Like I don't know what all they do. You know what I mean? But yeah, she's out there. And then I have my little brother's in South Carolina. He was out there, but my sister pulled a gun on him because I guess it's like a super freaking like Bible thumper out there, like like the Bible Belt.
Mm-hmm.
And so my little brother was smoking weed with my sister's kid, and she caught him and she pulled a gun on him and was like, "Well, I send your ass back to California with some holes in you."
Yeah, she's breeding a freaking breed of dogs called White Panthers.
Yeah, the White Panthers. Yeah, she's breeding little
whatever the hell those
dogs.
are. Yeah, little clan dogs.
Yeah, little clan dogs. No, but she so she chased my brother up out of there, and they all went out there from California because they were on the run. My oldest brother was on the run, and so he went out there with my sister, and then he brought my little brother with him, and like a year later or something, and when he brought my little brother out there, I guess my sister caught my little brother smoking weed with her son, and she chased his ass up out of there with a pistol, and so he ended up leaving to South Carolina with his Aina. So he's living in South Carolina, but they say it's like in the middle of the woods or some shit.
Yeah.
I kind of like, I thought about it, like, you know, what it would be like to live that way, but it just, I don't know, I think maybe I'm just too California, you know, and not only that, I'm from Southern California. Like, I've lived in Southern California my whole life. I've been around, you know, I've been to Vegas and, you know, a couple of spots, you know, but I haven't really, like, I'm a West Coast person, and I like it. Nothing against the guys from the East Coast and stuff, but I figure, like, why would I uproot to a whole nother coast? Like, we got our boy over there, Pit Viper, he's staying out in Florida, and he said that, like, it's hard out there. It's hard for people to get jobs out there, like, if you have a criminal record and, you know.
Yeah, they're not felon friendly over there.
Yeah. And so, but I like the vibe of Southern California. You know, I'm the kind of dude that'll be over there in Venice just kicking back, you know, tripping out on the crackhead on the roller skates. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you are going to be the crackhead on the roller skates.
Yeah, I'll be right there.
I'll be out there with some biker shorts on and some fluorescent.
I'll be right there doing a little spin with them, you know, like,
yeah. Remember the
hula hooping and such?
Yeah, remember the shades you used to get off the counter at Circle K with the pink arms, the pink colored arms? That would be you with the fanny pack and the shirt on.
You can't show your. Oh, he's right. You can't show your face out. You think he's joking? This man is dead serious.
No, I believe you. I believe you.
Oh man, you know, like I'm about that California lifestyle.
He's all in. He's got a visor on. He's got one of those green visors like you see if you were playing poker somewhere, but he's on the beach with it.
Yeah, the visor, the little stuff on my nose, you know?
Yeah, the green see-through visor.
Yep, that's me. Yeah, I'm all about that life, you know.
I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, bodyboarding.
Yeah, bodyboard. I'd be the guy on the longboard, the long skateboard.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Nah, Jesse's bougie. You think I'm bougie? He'll be right there on one of them freaking what do you call it? One of them standing boards with a freaking what do they call wakeboards? No, what do they call it?
No,
Those electrical skateboards.
yeah.
No, I'm talking about in the water.
Oh,
One of them boards that they stand on.
boogie board or surfboard.
No.
The ones that blow the water on the bottom.
No. What is that? What is
There is no water board that's electric.
It's not who said electric? James said electric.
No, I said skateboard. I thought you guys were talking about skateboards.
Yeah.
Electric skateboards, yeah.
No, only no. I roll with the skateboarders. You know, the crackhead skateboarders with the little skinny freaking. Yeah, it's what do they call Santa Cruzes?
Hey,
school Santa Cruz.
it's about to hang up.
Let me call you back right now.
All right, for sure. Hey, my apologies for pulling the rug on you right now, but I got a notification, so I'm not sure what they said that triggered the notification, but I went ahead and started it over just so I wouldn't run into any issues and whatnot. Hey, what's up, Marlene? How's it going? We currently got David and Jesse on the line right now. We're waiting for them to call back. Starlight, welcome. And let me see who else is in here. Oh, hey, what's up? How's it going, Amber? Let's see. We got Desert. Desert's back. Why did you end the live? Because you already know, hey, TikTok beyond me sometimes, so I had to start it back up again. But we're still here.
This call is now being recorded. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado
right now.
de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
5.
Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello.
James.
Yep.
Yeah, we're trying to think. We're talking about paddleboards.
Boards. Okay.
Jesse's a paddleboard kind of guy, and you don't understand. Like, he is bougie, so best believe that Jesse will be wearing all body gloves, the whole set. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know if they make body glove anymore, or he'll be right there with some like Jordan.
How old he is?
Yeah, some Nike, some Air Jordan bathing suit.
I think they still make them. The body glove, the wetsuits.
What's up?
Yeah, I know what you're doing.
I don't know what that's for. Sorry, we got some food coming into the door. So
okay.
What is that?
Hey, so I just want to let you guys know that we got Marlene. She wanted me to let you guys know. She said hello or hey, and then we also got Thumper. Marlene. She says she writes laughing out loud. I've been missing hearing from them. So hey, you guys are definitely been missed out here on the YouTube streets and on the TikTok streets.
First off, Marlene, hey, we love to have you here. Thumper, Thumper's on. Hey, Thumper, where the hell have you been? That's all I'm saying.
And we also got
cool, man. I'm glad that. Go ahead.
We also got Starlight also on the chat.
Starlight. Yep. Hey, I think every time I hear that name, I'm gonna have that song in my head.
What about Chubby Jessica? Is Chubby Jessica there?
Yeah, I haven't seen her in some time.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, so that's cool, man.
She doesn't love us anymore. That's the problem.
That's what it is. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I want you guys to visualize Jesse on a paddleboard wearing all body gloves.
Don't do it. It might be too much for you to handle.
Wearing a body glove wetsuit.
A body glove wetsuit. With my Baywatch run.
He'll be out in the water the whole day and won't come back.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Yep. No, that's cool, man. But how's everybody doing out there? Hoping all is good. Tomorrow's a Super Bowl, so lines are drawn in the sand. Whoever you ride with, that's what it is. I'm a Rams fan, but I wouldn't really mind seeing either team win. I don't know when I became that guy. Let's just have fun.
Let's get a participation trophy.
Yeah, let's just have fun. You guys, good job for being there and whatnot. But I'm interested in seeing the Chiefs get a three-peat. If they get a three-peat, that would be cool. I don't think that's been done. the Eagles. I mean, it would be cool to see Jalen Hurts do that. Well, what's up? Hold on, let's hear. We got a guy at the door right here. You guys want to hear some real prison negotiation?
Yep. Hell yeah, we do.
Let's see. This guy's calling. I don't know what it's about. So, hey, Grasshopper. We're in the cell right now, so that's what it is. But they got day room out there.
So he's from the lower tier.
Nah, it's our tier day room, but we came in to talk to you guys. Hey, Grasshopper.
You're gonna yell at the side of the door.
Grasshopper. What's up?
Oh, look, I was gonna ask for the Vikings.
Okay. That's it. That's all he wanted.
All right, that was
so
fast.
I got the CD. Right.
Yeah.
No, I got the CD right here, right? And it's like, okay, so I listen to crazy music, right?
Yeah.
Do you know that? I listen to crazy music. Like, I listen to standard music, like Starlight, Star Bright kind of shit, but I'm also into like hard metal. Like, that's what it is. I listen to metal that's so hard that my friends look at me like I'm freaking out of my mind.
Hey, speaking of Starlight and people being on there, has M-Star Media been on there or
Mad Max 408?
Mad Max 408?
Yeah, they have. They're always tuned in to because I run those parole board hearings daily, Monday through Friday. So they always jump on like early. Like I normally start those streams like at either 6 or 7 in the morning. So they're always in the chat. When it comes to those streams.
Parole board hearings? What parole board hearings?
The parole board hearings for
Where the hell you been?
the ones for Connecticut and Utah. And then we've been doing some for Kentucky. Those Kentucky ones, those Kentucky parole board hearings, they're crazy because they're a lot different from other states because they ask them a lot of questions in regards to their crime, what they did to the victims, and they want a lot of details. And some the other states don't do that. They water it down. So those ones from
What about California, Jess?
California?
What about California? No, I'm asking Jess because Jesse's been to parole in California.
Okay,
I haven't been to the parole board. I'm going to the parole board, but I haven't been there, so I don't know. Do they ask details like that? Like,
no, not really. The only time they'll start digging on details is if you're being evasive about stuff, But for the most part, they'll tell you from the get-go, like, we're not here to contest or negotiate or retry the facts of the case. The reality is, whatever's in the record, that's what we're gonna basically go with the truth. And
I think that's a little insensitive to the victims, right? To the victim's family, if they're looking for deep details about the crime. Like,
well,
I'm an open book.
Yeah.
I'm an open book. So if they ask me questions, I'm going to give an answer. And I'm more mindful though of the victims' families and stuff. It's like, okay, well, I don't know why they would want to put them through that. The autopsies are pretty bad too.
Well,
James.
Well, you know what? Most of the cases that I've seen in Kentucky, I've only been to 2 of them. But they've been about 8-hour sessions, and the first session I went to, they had a lot of people with those unsavory charges. The ones that people normally don't do good in prison for me, when it comes to things like that, I think it's important because I mean, personally me, I want to know, why is it that why did they do those things and what to look out for if there any signs of their predatory behavior that they could shed some light on, just in case you ever come across somebody in the street like that, like, oh, okay, this fool's he's trying to groom somebody, or things like that. As far as like let's say like a gang style type of situation, I haven't run into that many right there in Kentucky. I'm guessing things run a lot differently. I was watching one of those hearings, I think like 2 weeks ago, and there was this one dude that he stomped out his 7-month-old baby, and they were asking him about that, because at first he was denying it that he did it, and then finally he ended up admitting it that he did stomp out. I guess the baby was in like a swing or a jumper or something, and for whatever reason he felt the need to do that. and he ended up breaking like the baby's like femur bone, and he had some prior injuries that he had healed from that I guess they could tell when they did the X-rays. And at first when he walked in there, he was walking in like all hard, like his stuff didn't stink, and then because he thought he didn't have a chance in hell, of going home. He was like, I don't even know what you guys called me out here for. I can't. I'm not even supposed to be going home until like 2034 or 2030 something.
Yeah.
So then they broke it down. You know what? And I was kind of surprised that the board member did that, and he told him, hey, look, whatever we say is goes. If we allow you to go home today, it supersedes anything you were sentenced to. And then that kind of like the board member broke it down, and I was like, damn, if I would have been on the board, I would have not told this fool anything. I would have just like, all right, then cool, you don't want denied, boom, we'll deny you the max amount of time, and we'll max you out, and as much as we can, and then we don't have to worry about you. But for whatever reason, that board member felt the need to inform him that whatever information he was provided before, it was incorrect, and that he did have a chance to go home. He just needed to get on, start doing some programs and whatnot. But then his situation, based on what he did, the gangs were
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
they were extorting him, for coffee and all kinds of stuff, and so he was segregated at the time he went to the parole board hearing. But they it looked like they planted a seed in his mind, and because by the time he left out of that hearing, like it was like a completely different person that then had originally walked in.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's there's some people that I want to say, well, anybody can change and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but I think like, man, it's hard for me to get behind someone like that. It's very difficult. And I like there's guys here that are on this yard that are here for some horrible things,
Yeah.
and there's because we have death row guys here,
Yeah.
so they did horrible things that got them the death penalty. Death row is not only in San Quentin anymore. They passed that moratorium in California, which released cleared out San Quentin death row, and this was one of the places where they got those guys. So I don't ask, James, and
Mm-hmm.
there's people here, like you hear whispers and you see, like, I can tell, it's a prison yard. So you could kind of tell, like, okay, so somebody generally looks like us. They carry themselves a certain way, but no one's fucking with them.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell, like, all right, well, this dude ain't got a freaking homeboy in the world in this yard, so people know. And so I kind of pick up on things like that, and as time progresses, I've heard some pretty crazy shit,
Yeah.
And I think, like, man, this was just, if this was just a few years ago,
Mm.
but I just can't have that thought process, like what people did, it's none of my business. But I also don't have to associate with them. Like, I treat everybody with respect, with dignity, and just, but I sure as hell ain't going to be messing with someone like that, I got nothing for them.
Yeah. You know what? And I want to share something with you guys now that we're on the topic of that. So you know how I had mentioned to you guys a few maybe like a month or two ago that I got kicked out of that hearing in Oregon.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So I'm not sure if I mentioned this to you, but the first guy that had came on, he was a pimp, and he was pimping
All
out
right.
he was pimping out his lady, and something happened between his lady and the John. I don't know if the John put hands on her or he didn't pay her. He did something. I don't recall what the exact details were of the whole situation. So the dude, he ended up attacking the John, and he ended up stomping him out. And this is what the court paper said, and the newspaper. So, dude, he ends up picking up a case. They ended up sentencing, giving him 100 years in prison. All right. So he ends up suing Nike, and he loses the case. He said that Nike should have had a warning label on the shoes, as dangerous. And so he put in some appeals, and he was actually able to get his sentence down to 50 years, down from 100. and he was that day that I was streaming that I got kicked out. He was the first one that had came on. So
Yeah.
like maybe like a week ago, or right before we took off to North Carolina, somebody put a message on that video that I put up, and pretty much what they said was that the dude that was in the video was made aware of that that his interview was on YouTube, and that
Yeah.
that his board hearing might me recording it and putting it out might affect him like negatively, from being
Yeah.
able to come home eventually. So they said that they saw the channel and they saw that we're putting some positive stuff out there, when it came to like incarceration and
Yeah.
those type of things, and that
Yeah.
dude wanted to talk to me.
Yep.
And
Uh-huh.
man, look, my first thought was like, I mean, I don't want nothing to do with anything like that. Just those type of charges.
Yeah.
When it comes to like human trafficking and those things, they just don't interest me.
Yep.
So like the
No.
first thing I did was like, man, I'm just gonna put this video on private, and that's it. Like I don't want to deal with this. So then I think a few
Yeah.
days later, I was telling my lady about it. Hey, look, this is what
Le
happened.
queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Like pretty much what I told you guys, and then like I checked my email a few minutes later, and I got an email from GTL, and it's from this vato. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, I didn't know that if somebody has my email address, if that they could add me to the tablet and they'll send me a message. So so I was like, man, I told my lady, I was like, man, this is this is a trip, like I'm not surprised that he went to that extent, to try to get a hold of me. Just based on what he was talking about in the board hearing, but I don't care to showcase those type of individuals here as far as me talking to them one on one with those type of charges and whatnot.
When we come on,
Yeah.
when we call back, I wanna go into this a little bit more.
Okay. All right.
Call
For
you
sure.
right back.
All right. All right.
Oh.
All right. So for those of you that are tuning in, and this might be the first time that you guys are listening to Jesse and David, they're located in Centinela State Prison. They're both lifers. They were sentenced to life. I mean, at the end of their sentence. So I think David has 41 years to life, and Jesse, I'm not sure. I think his is 25 to life, and he's been eligible for parole for a few years now. They both participated in gangland unalivings.
This call is now
Esta
being
es
recorded.
Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello,
James. Yeah.
David.
So I have an interesting. I've been looking at it, right? I've been looking at it from his perspective. I've been looking at it from our perspective, and then I
Yeah.
would think like, okay, well, yes, he's there for something extremely unfavorable,
Mm-hmm.
but
What are you doing? Is pimping out his hyena?
well,
Yeah.
that for one, right? That's weird.
Mhm.
So let's just go that route, and be like, look, okay, so he's pimping out his girl,
Yeah.
whatever. If they're adults and it's a whole thing, and it's a consensual thing, but still, it's not something that we're into. But I don't see the probative value
Mm-hmm.
of bringing his story on there. I could say like if they were both victims of some sort of trafficking or whatnot, and it was a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
Things happen, and we can educate the public on what to look for to avoid that situation. But this guy's the perpetrator.
Mm-hmm.
This is the trafficker. So we're
There's no probative value to be had.
I just can't see. I can't find it, and I'm trying to be devil's advocate here.
Was
What's
somebody?
up? Hey,
Yeah.
oh, go ahead.
Somebody could say, well,
we got
you're
neighbors.
you're airing these board of parole hearings, and the individuals that are coming on, they have those type of charges, and I would say it's different because we're just peeking into their hearings. We're not actually interacting with them. So for me, that's it's okay for me, the way I look at it in my mind. But to bring them bring them on here one on one and like to probe his mind and stuff like that, it just no me nace. It doesn't. It's not something that I think like you said. I don't think it will serve any type of value.
Yep. Yeah, I can't. And look, if the guy changed his life and came to understand the the errors of his ways and stuff like that, like more power to him. It's what it is. No, I don't want to be. I don't want to close my perspective off and whatnot to to people's change. It's just what can somebody like that bring to the table? And honestly, I think that the conversation will probably get you flagged almost immediately. And let's look at it from TikTok's point of view. The people out there look, you guys stumble on board hearings. The viewers are, they know that you're going to go out there and try to look for these hearings, and they're curious. People are curious about board hearings, but you don't go seek out specific charges. You don't know who the hell the hearing's going to be or what they're there for.
It's like a box of chocolates.
It's kind of like a box of chocolates, and you never know what you're going to get. And sometimes it's just like, I don't,
Yeah.
I do know some people who are turned off by some of the hearings that you had seen.
Yeah, we know people that said like, oh well, they're not tuning in,
Yeah.
just like they were before because of those hearings specifically.
Yeah.
But you have people that do.
Yeah.
So win some, you lose some.
No, yeah, and I see that.
Some people don't.
And yeah, no, I do see that because it's and I even see it based on the analytics. Before when I started when we started the channel, we were associated, like the people that were looking for the channel were the people that were looking for all these prison channels. But ever since I started doing these board of parole hearings, our demographics have changed. The analytics are way different now. So I know the people that were not tuning in before, they're not, because I definitely took a left turn on this. But I think it's all within the same realm, when it comes to prison, because if you look at it, we started up with the phone calls, and you guys giving us insight as far as why you guys did what you did. Then we started doing video visits and we're traveling the world, and now we're at doing the parole board hearings, and then I recently started doing the Maricopa board hearings, and it seems like a lot of people are interested in a lot more people. I think are more interested in listening to like these new the initial appearances. When people come into the system, and it's a whole different wave of people that are tuning in now.
Yeah, well, because then you get to show full circle. You get to show booking. You get to show them what these people look like when they start coming in here. When they've been through here several times, then you get to show what it looks like with people coming out the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a little bit of everything.
And then the crazy part is, where shit went all bad.
Yeah.
Those of you guys that
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
those of you that have listened to Jesse and to mine and Jesse's story, you guys know that we are lifers. We are sentenced to life in prison. That's changed. The meaning of that has changed. Where when we first got sentenced, we were sentenced to die in prison. I got 40 years to life. That type of sentence was curtains. Jesse had life without parole when he was initially sentenced. But he got his time reduced to 25 to life, and that was curtains. It was curtains. Yeah, and so you think like, well, the viewers. I guess this is a unique. This is something unique right here, because how many times do you, as the viewers out there, get to interact with people that were sentenced to life in prison, especially for 187s? We've both of us had indeterminate shoe terms. I don't know if you understand what that means, but we were the SHU as the security housing units. They were notorious in California prisons, and we had indeterminate SHU terms which means that we were never supposed to leave the hole.
You were inside the prison, inside of prison.
Yeah, we were in a prison. That was that's where we did our time. So you guys get to enter.
Reserved for the worst people in prison.
Yep. There was only 3 shoes in California: Pelican Bay, Corcoran, and Tehachapi Shoe, and that were specifically reserved, for the worst of the worst, and that was us.
And
Hey.
Overflow and New Folsom.
And to paint a picture for those of us that haven't been in prison, including myself, because I've never been in prison. What would a normal day be for you, like that in the shoe? Did you have a celly from the time you woke up? Like, what is it that you guys did?
Well, Jesse,
you get up. Usually you get up around 4:30 because Gallo is going to be at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
And what's gallo for those of us that are not familiar with el gallo?
That's the morning roll call.
That's roll call. Like if you belong to a faction of gang members, your faction will usually do a wake up call.
Yep.
They'll identify you and your celly, or you if you're by yourself. One person will usually do the roll call for the whole tier, for the whole section, and they'll just go from cell to cell. They'll acknowledge you. They'll be like, hey, so-and-so, buenos dias. But first they have to excuse themselves on the tier, which is usually done in different dialects.
Yeah. But now, that's where the call, that's the first thing you hear in the morning, like the rooster crow. You'll hear it out of nowhere. We all know it's coming, but you'll hear it on point. Tras, Inés, Popoyacan, Ifan, Otripi. That's what you hear.
Excuse me on the tier.
Yep. That's like telling everybody, hey, the tier's ours. This is what it is, but that's in Nava. And it depends where you were. Like in the shoe, it depends what dialect was spoken. So there's a lot of dialects of Nava. What is it, like 9 dialects, Jess? Yes, there's 9 dialects of Nava. But so, for instance, in like Palmas and like other holes, you'll say "Cual isi amok no isi sin ti," which means like good morning to everybody. Like and that's what, and then so everybody will say at the same time, "Traso kamati." And that's just telling everybody like thanks, for the morning wake up. And then or they'll say it individually. So if they say it individually, they'll say it in a different dialect. Qualisi, or they'll say Tehua, Otimo, Tawasino, and then you say it back. They'll call you by your alias though, They'll be like, hey, so Tehua, Timo, Tawasino, and then you say Otimoteo, Tawasino, and that's how you say it and repeating. So that process happens every single day. On point. Nobody talks on the tier at all before outside of the Gallo, yeah. So the Gallo opens up the tier.
Tiers open up.
Yeah, it opens up the tier and it closes the tier. And there's some tiers where they'll close it at Maui. Like 4 o'clock, they'll shut it down. No talking on the tier. That was like certain places too, which is 4 o'clock. It's now Maui. The tier's done. So it's just silence.
And the reason that nobody talks is to show show a sign of respect.
Yeah, of course, but it's a sign of respect, showing that people might want to draw or concentrate or read or because in the daytime when the tier's open, there's a lot of conversations on the tier.
Fishing.
Yeah, fishing, and then also you play chess. So when you play chess on the tier, remember
Jeopardy.
Yep, chess, Jeopardy. So there's different things that happen on the tier that are they're acceptable conversations that happen on the tier where people are involved. Because the shoe, you're in pods, so you don't interact with people outside of your pod very very often. Sometimes, like when we had the group yards, because when I was in the shoe, we had concrete group yards. We had the walk alone cages too, but most of the time we were out there all together. Everybody that was in the shoe that was within certain, they had different yards. So that's how you see people from other sections. But your day to day, you don't. It's what it is. They open up the tier in the morning, and then there's rutina. There's exercise. So each race back there has a lot of times to work out. A lot of times we would work out with the whites back there, like the white leadership and stuff like that. They would work out with us and coordinate their workouts with us. Other places they would have their own, but those are all a lot of times. Nobody talks. Matter of fact, nobody even flushes their toilet. during the workouts. And it'll be one person running the workouts, conducting the rutina, and freaking everybody, everybody just kind of goes with the flow on that. And then they excuse themselves off the tier, and then the next race will come on. You get the blacks on the tier, the Matumbo for the daily Matumbo. You get the Norteños, the machine in motion. So yeah, it's everybody has their spot, and it's all respect. Like, you don't talk over somebody's workout. You just don't do it. When people are interacting on the tier, if you're playing chess on the tier, you call out the number. Since the board is numbered, that's how you can keep track of the chess game. And we used to follow each other's chess games. I would set up my board just like when other people would, and then I would watch the game like that. I would move the pieces when they called the numbers. And then, but the number, it's real fast though, 25-32, real quick, like nothing to yell and stuff like that, no banging. So, yeah, it's different. But the daytime in the shoe, like when you get up in the morning, you get up, do your announcement. But most of us are up before the gallo. You get up early. The gallo would be at like 6 a.m., sometimes a little earlier. It just depends, Get up, roll up your mattress, wash up, get the cell, clean the floor. Everything's really methodical in the shoe because you have to eat your day up. So I would take my time doing stuff. I would get up, take my time.
Let me ask you something, David. And what's the reasoning behind rolling up your mattress?
Well, we don't have a lot of room in there, huh?
For presentability.
Yeah, because you want everything you want yourself presentable also. Like, everything is really immaculate and presentable, but there's not we don't have our mattress. Like, Jesse and I, our mattresses are rolled up still. I have a little couch that I make with my mattress, but we don't leave our bed unrolled in the daytime.
Roll it up because it looks a lot more homely and hospitable.
Yeah.
With it rolled up, you don't have this mat unrolled blankets there. Like, you roll it up, you push it into the corner, and your cell has more space. Feels like it has more space.
Yeah, and then also
when you're out on the outside looking in, it looks more presentable.
It does. Like, when they look in, they see all the mattresses is perfectly rolled. The sheets are sorted. I have the sheet set up in a little banner, around the mattress. And
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
And we use the bunks. Both of us use the bunk. Like right now, Jesse and I were both on the bottom bunk. His mattress is
on my lap.
Yeah, I'm sitting on Jesse's lap right now. So it's a little It looks extremely awkward. And but it's a desk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The bottom bunk is a desk.
I use the bottom bunk for everything.
Everything. We make food on the bottom bunk.
If you had a bed right here, sitting right here, it'd be a lot harder to move around. You're not gonna have somebody sitting on your mattress with all.
Hey, who's talking in the background? I can hear somebody.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I can hear somebody talking at the.
Who else you think is? Who else you think is making all kinds of goddamn noise?
That's Felipe the Capricorn.
Yep. Shut your mouth, Flipper! Button it up! Keep it down!
Hey, well.
Hey, what's up? Hey, a shout out to Jasmine and Ostrich. Do you still want me to ask that question? I'm not sure if what David was talking about. If that answered your question, I just saw Elias Man sneaking in right there. I saw your name pop up on the screen. Hey, thank you, appreciate that. Locked Up Connections. If you're looking for love and you're looking for a prison pen pal, definitely check out Locked Up Connections. She has everybody on there, size, color, crimes, whatever you're looking for, you might find it on Locked Up Connections.
This call is now being recorded.
Link. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
You're welcome, KC. Highly appreciate you. 5.
Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Yep.
I'll just keep reading till the question show up?
Yep. Or you could just, Jesse's got a, Jesse has he's going to facilitate anger management CGA tonight. And
Yeah.
It's a new workshop. So he's like, what am I doing? But Jesse, we know CGA. So I don't think you should read the whole thing, Jess. I think just pick out key points like we do on any other lesson.
Yep.
Ask the questions and move about our business, you know what I mean?
Move about.
Yeah. So yeah, I have pictures of the shoe, James.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have them though. You have pictures of the shoe,
Yeah.
right? You should be able to get those on Google
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So
Got 'em.
you could, it's important for people to understand. Okay, well, this is your life for decades. We know people that have spent decades in the shoe. I had an indeterminate shoe term for years. Jesse had an indeterminate shoe term for years. And then before that, I was in the hole for years. Just constantly, and it's just so you get adapted to that lifestyle. I did a speech on solitary confinement for our public speaking class that we had, and I was doing a lot of research on it. Man, the stuff that I was finding, I was like, dude, I'm like jacked up, like pretty jacked up from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. And it was talking about there was a time where I told you, remember, I was in deep segregation.
Mm-hmm.
And deep segregation was management. It was a management cell, and it was a cell inside of a cell in Chino prison, and it's called Cypress Deep Seg. But I was way back there, man. Like you had to go. It was a tier that was like, it looked like Alcatraz. That's how Chino looks. It's 3 tiers high, but that tier was like sectioned off, and you have to go behind another gate to get back there to those cells. And that's right there was the definition of solitary confinement. It was bad. And there was times where I would see like water in the air. I would be sitting there and I would be like, the air would look wavy, kind of like if you're looking over a barbecue pit.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
If you're looking over a barbecue pit,
Yeah.
you kind of see the air looks a little wavy, because of the heat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would be sitting there, and I would just be like staring at the wall. There's times in the hole where you don't got nothing, no book or nothing, and you're gonna look at the wall. And I was just looking at the wall, and then all of a sudden the air started to get wavy like that. And then my neighbor, he was telling me that he was seeing kind of like, he called it water in the air. And I started thinking like, damn, I wonder if that was a freaking spirit or something,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, or maybe it was just like my mental health, But I wasn't lucky enough to lose my mind, because that would have actually given me something to do.
Hey, but you seen, so you know what, and I'm glad you brought that up, because you've seen people break, where they lost it forever. That was it. Is there like any warning signs where you see like, damn, this dude, he's on the brink of breaking, he's about to lose it all, and what are those signs?
The singing to themselves, to start, like you could tell, like
Yep, they'll start singing to themselves a lot more often. You'll see them having more conversations with themselves.
Usually in the mirror, huh?
Yeah.
You could kind of tell, like you'll look up and they'll be like looking in the mirror a little bit, and they'll be rapping to themselves and things like that. That's a general, like you could tell something's not right there. Yelling out the
slow deterioration.
Yeah, it's slow though. When it happens, you're kind of like, oh, I kind of saw that coming.
Yeah, that dude looked like he had a few fries short of a Happy Meal to begin with.
Yeah, you know what I noticed?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I noticed is the isolation though. They isolate themselves. Even the dudes that were like pushing active and but they kind of stay to themselves. They're kind of like a little their movements get a little slower.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little calmer. They say serio a lot.
Serio?
Yeah,
Serio?
you'd be like, you'd be like, hey fool, yeah, it's all bad right there in my belly. Serio? Oh shit.
That's another one.
Yeah. They'll put a little too much on it, you know what I mean? Like, you give them like a handshake and they'll turn it into the handshake half hug, and then you're Carnalito de Aslan. Like, oh no, this guy.
I knew it.
I do it.
A straight jacket.
You could kind of see the hair. The hair be a little different. Like, you see the guys that kind of just keep their hair like I don't know, it's weird. Like, you could just tell. Like, little things are like guys like if I ever saw Jesse without like a clean fade and like some nice stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, he lost it.
He lost it. This man's given up.
Yeah, dudes that they don't shave, they won't shave, but it's not like because they're growing a beard, they're just like slacking it, you know. They're kind of just like getting lost in the sauce.
Yeah, so it's crazy you're talking about people losing their minds. So trip out on this, James.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got several crimies that were busted with me on my, on my murder.
Yeah.
And all my crimies are out on the streets right now. I'm the only one that's still in here. Well, all my crimies were out on the streets. And one of my co-defendants, the one who actually had absolutely nothing to do with this case, he
the
got
guy that
out
was
in
driving?
2020. No, he wasn't driving. I was driving.
Okay. Oh, but he's the guy.
I was driving, and I was the.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, I remember now that yeah, there was somebody
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we picked up one of my homeboys, and because my other homie wanted to get a gun from him instead of the one, because he wanted to keep the one that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And so I told him, well, if you get another one, then you can have this one. So anyway, long story short, he dragged one of my other homies into this, and he ended up going with us to this house where, I made the horrible decision to murder somebody. Anyways, actually the decision was already made months before I ever went there, so it wasn't. But so anyways, he got out in 2020 on the felony murder rule. A law that had changed, saying that if you weren't the perpetrator and you didn't have anything to do with the actual, if your part that you played in the crime didn't specifically result in the death of anybody, then they had to let you go. And so he got out after like 18 years, and it's crazy because he was out there for about 5 years and he just got busted this past week for murder again.
Yep.
And it's a trip because
yeah,
he's
already another one.
Yep. And but what's crazy is that's what happens though when they don't make you earn your freedom. Like that's just the reality. Like if they're just letting people out of prison, like what makes you think that somebody's going to be any more equipped to deal with society if you've done nothing but you put them up in prison, you don't give them anything, or you don't make no efforts, because he got out in 2020. There was already things here going on in prison, but he was on the main line, so his mindset may have been a little bit different, and he didn't really have to earn his freedom because the courts released him. The court said, "Oh no, we're going to let him go home." We feel that he didn't have, and they took the conviction off. They actually took the murder conviction and they actually convicted him for burglary. And so like now he's got it says that he was just recently released from prison for burglary. It doesn't say anything about the fact that he was incarcerated for 18 years for murder. Yeah. But anyways, but just being in prison, he adapted to prison. He had never been busted before that. One time he got busted coming back from San Diego, bringing some straps from San Diego up here to the desert, and anyways, he gets cracked this time, and he bails out. So he's out on bail for a couple of years, until the bail company goes out of business and they bring him back in. Mm-hmm. So he does about 18 years, and he adapts to.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
And they released him, so he's out there in society, and he, for the last basically 5 years since since February of 2020, he's been out there, and so I was talking to one of my homeboys earlier, and he's telling me because they were talking, they were staying in touch with each other, and my homeboy was telling me like, hey man, what you know about that fool? He goes, it's not the same guy that you know. You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you, like that fool had lost his mind a little bit, And I'm like, what do you mean? Like this fool, out of all of us, this fool was the most sane. You know what I mean? Like he was the most stable, the most sane. He was doing great when they busted him, because my case was a cold case. He was actually laying fiber optic wiring, like he had a good ass job. Yeah, he was selling dope. Don't get me wrong, he was selling dope, but he was working and he was doing his shit, and buying a house and all that stuff. Had a business and everything. He had a mobile detailing business on the side, and he was, like aside from his actual job, so he was doing pretty good. And but he came in here, and I don't know what 18 years in prison did to him, and we were cellies before in Kern a long time ago, that was pretty much the last time I had actually, spent time with him. I brought him down to the county for a while, and he was down there with me in the county, and but I didn't. I was in the hole, and he was on the main line, and so but my homeboy was telling me earlier, he's like, hey, fool, he's like, that old boy kind of had lost, not just my homeboy, but it was my homeboy and his girl on the phone, and they were both like, man, like he wasn't completely right anymore, and I just, me personally, I can't even imagine that, like I can't even, because I've known this fool since we were kids, and I just don't see how, like he just, he's not one of them dudes, and apparently he started messing with drugs a little bit before he got out. He never messed with drugs before. That was like one of the things that set him apart from everybody. He never messed with drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And so apparently he got out messing with drugs, and man, like I said, I don't know if it was the prison. He spent a long time. He spent like 8 years, 9 years up there in High Desert in the 180 because he blasted somebody right here in Calipat. And I don't know if it was being up there in High Desert. I don't know if it was being in the hole. I don't know what it was, but to hear that today about him losing his mind, not like, because I also know other people talk to him, and some of the things they were telling me were kind of far out, but now that I hear that somebody who was talking to him regularly say like, hey, this fool wasn't playing with a full deck anymore, like he was tripping.
And it's weird too, because you can't tell, like it'll be normal, and then all of a sudden they're just, I say like they're one shake back behind the window.
Yeah.
You could see it. That's the only way I can explain it. Like you see people that are there, you talk to them, you see that they're all there. They're down to earth, and you could just tell that they're present. But you can see it when they go a shake back behind the window of it's hard to explain. It's the only way that I could describe it is they're like they're turned down a notch.
Yeah.
And then they go, but it goes, and then they start getting paranoid into the conspiracies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's guys that'll start. I've seen a guy wig out that when there was the Twin Towers got attacked,
Yeah.
And I had a guy that was on there. He was on the 180, he was a porter, but he was he was a homie. He was there, and his cousin was his cellie, and his cousin had to put hands on him because he came to the door. He was talking to us and to a few other people, and he's like, they're gonna kill all the prisoners. Like he went in like a crazy fear thing that they were gonna execute all the prisoners. And he was like saying a bunch of ridiculous stuff like that had to do with that, and he went into the conspiracy, and his cousin ended up having to beat him up to try to like wake him up. Like, what the hell's wrong with you, And you get those, you get the ones that go like balls out, and they start being real disrespectful to staff. You see those ones? They just go full blown enemies, with anybody that's in green, they do that. And then there's the guys that go after like the bad charges. There's dudes that just start saying crazy stuff. There's the singers. There's the bangers.
The bangers.
Yeah, people bang on stuff. I used to hate, man, when they bring a banger next to me, and they'll just start banging on freaking the door. They'll bang on the sink. And it's loud, man. You hear that shit right in yourself. Yep. You get the bangers. You get the tear yellers, the guys who wolf on the tear. The gassers are the worst.
Oh.
I hate the gassers.
Can you explain? Man. Can you explain to the audience that might not familiar with the term gas and what exactly it entails?
They throw feces at you, or freaking. These guys are pros at that shit too. Like, it's crazy. Like the one like there's a couple different types of gassers, right? There's ones that put like they'll get like containers, or they'll get something and they'll put pee like in a bag or something, or a container. And
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
When you walk by, they'll freaking they'll squeeze the bag, and so the shit will shoot out the side of the door. And man, these dudes are like pros, man. They'll get that right in your face. You get those ones.
Yeah.
You get the ones that'll shoot it right out the side of their door into your door. I had some dude gas inside my door, and he freaking soaked the whole inside of my door with urine, and I could not understand how he did that. That dude was a freaking, he was a Houdini.
Houdini.
I gotta tell you about the bombs though. The gas bombs, those were crazy. So these were like the special. I'm gonna call you back right now. I'll explain the gas bombs.
Okay. The Houdini. Hey, all right. So, if you guys are curious to know who these are, this is David and Jesse. They're cellies, and they're located in Centinela State Prison. And I know what you're thinking. I want them, but no, you don't. They're married. They're married men. So please don't reach out to them because I don't want no problems like little Scrappy. Yeah, they know each other. They know each other from the streets. They know each other. No, I don't want. No, I don't want them. But yeah, so they know each other. Hey, what's up, M-Star Media? Jesse and David were asking about you and Mad Max. I'll let them know that you're dropping in. But if you are looking for love, check out Locked Up Connections.
This call is now being recorded.
Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
5.
Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello, David, Jesse. All right, before we continue right now, I just want to let you guys know that we got M-Star Media. She writes "Yo fellas" and chat, and then she puts James. She put a little laughing emoji because I was telling everybody that if they're looking for love, it's definitely not gonna be with Jesse and David because they are taken men. But if they are looking for love, definitely check out Locked Up Connections.
Locked up.
Locked up connection.
He said it like one of those like hotline guys, you know. He's like, if you're looking for love, call Hotline Connections.
What is hotline? What is locked up connections? Is that something for real, or are you just talking shit?
No, for real, no.
For real. I don't think you should.
No, it's for real.
Hotline.
Casey _ she runs a TikTok Locked Up Connection.
Yeah.
So like she connects people with that are on the outside that are looking for love with people that are looking for love on the inside. So whatever size, shape, or crime you guys are looking for, you guys will find it there, not here.
Hotline Connections.
M-Star Media and
Mad Max
Parole had hit us up, but for some reason they suspended their account.
Yep.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, yeah.
On
So she put a message on here. She said, I got my GTO account suspended account for a month.
Okay.
That sucks. Well, we'll try to survive. We'll do the best we can. No promises.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
Yep. No, so trip out. They freaking So the bombers.
The
bombers are
Houdini.
bad, James. The Houdini bombers. Yeah, no. So these ones are bad. So they like, and I think about it too. Like they put a lot of effort. Like you gotta really, and they won't. You know what? You don't really have to piss these guys off. Like they just do it. Like if they don't like your voice on the tier, or you might be running with someone else. Like you're not gonna know. And in Chino, in the hole right there, you know, it was all bars. It was bars. So the door, you know, it's like mesh. There's bars, and then above the outside the bars is like some mesh. So you can fish over the tier, because I used to fish all kinds of stuff right there over the tier, you know. But it's just you got to be a little bit you gotta do it like slip the line out through the mesh, and then you gotta fish it back in under your door, and then tie the stuff on, and then you gotta whip it over the tier, over the rail, and then you have to swing it. You have to swing it to where it gets some momentum, and then you can let it go, and it'll fly, and it'll hit the cell below you. And so people were doing that with feces and urine. They would put a bag on there, and then they would get it out of their cell through the bottom of the door, and then they would fling it over the tier, and then it's messed up if you see it happening too, because you're kind of right there and you're like, what's that yellow liquid that just flew over the tier, you know, and it's swinging in my direction, and it's like, oh no, you know. Oh no, you know, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Like,
get your raincoat on.
Yeah, like you can't. Like it's gonna, as soon as he gets some momentum, he'll let it go, and it'll come flying at your freaking bars, and it just explodes.
Damn.
And then it smells too, like it stays on there. Yeah,
one of them. It's Chino, so you know it's got some meth piss in there.
Oh, for
sure.
Yeah,
Like squeaker that came in off the street, smelling like he's been on a
Yeah.
6-month tweaker run. Hasn't drank a lick of water the whole time he was out, so you know that shit's orange and yellow. Probably burned the paint right off your bar.
Hey, there was a guy that was seeing freaking the Star Spangled. No, yeah, it's bad. And you think we're joking? It's serious. That's 100% real. But
Crackhead.
yeah, there was a dude that would sing the Star Spangled Banner throughout the day and night, and it would come out of nowhere. We'd be right there sleeping, and like 3 in the morning, you just hear it. Oh, say, can you see? Like loud though, full like volume. And then he'll do like, there'll be a time where like you just want to take that dude's head off, but you can't get to him because you're in the hole, you know. And then as like a month passes and it still happens, by the time freaking a month goes by, he's like, and the rock is red. You're singing with them and freaking you're making the sound of fireworks exploding. You know what I'm saying? You're just completely lost in the madness. You're like, you know what? I can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, that's what you do. Because I had one of my boys, Pelon, lose it, Domingo, and that fool literally sometimes would stand in the shower over there in Blythe. You might have been there around the time there, Pelon from Magazine. And that was the boy right there growing up, and he came in. One time he came in like semi-normal. I don't know what happened though. I ran into him a while later. He was gone, and he literally would stand in the shower sometimes for like 2 days straight in the shower, no eating, no nothing, just be in the shower. Like what the fuck? Like
was the water running?
Singing in there,
okay.
With the water running and everything. Yep.
Yeah.
And he'd just be like, "Nights are lonely, these days are so sad."
What
Yeah,
the
that
hell?
song. He'd sing that song, the whole song, all the way through, over and over and over. Or he'd go sit at a spot in the table right there, where we would eat, and he'd sit there for like 15 hours, 20 hours, sometimes like straight, and just sing that song, just rocking his head back and forth, singing the song. And you'd be like, "Hey, fool, you got to get up!" Like, and he'd look right through you. Like, "Hey, fool, watch out, we're gonna eat right now," and that's the homie seat. And we'll just be like, "No, you know what? Go ahead, just go around and sleep right there." But because he was such a good.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
And he was a bona fide killer, so a lot of the homies were worried, like, damn, like they didn't want to push him out because they don't know what, you know, he had bodied a few people, and his boys all in that whole little team had, all together had knocked down like at least 15 dudes together. So everybody was just kind of like, man, like, you know what I mean? And so they just kind of like, we kept him around for a long time, but it was crazy because sometimes you could have normal conversations with him, like, and everything would be good, and he'd be like, "Oh, remember this or remember that." And you know what's funny about it is they started his trial. They started him in trial, and they stopped the trial in the middle of the trial. They said, "Nah, we can't have this trial. There's something wrong with this dude." You know what I mean? Like they realized it in court. You know what I mean? Like they after everything, and they sent his ass to Tescadero State Hospital. And I swear to God, this fool writes me from Tescadero, dog, and he sends me a picture of him and these two little badass twins, because he had it going on. He had a ranch out there. He had these little fine-ass twins that he was with in this picture. He sends me the pictures with them, and it's crazy because in the letter, he sounds perfectly normal, and he's like, "Man, fool, they got me at this crazy-ass hospital. I got to get the fuck out of here. There's all kinds of fucking weirdos here. This place is crazy. All these people are crazy." And in my head, I'm sitting here thinking, like, "Fool, you're one of them. You one of them. What are you talking about?" I mean, like, but, and so he's like, "I'm gonna come back. They want me to go PC, but they got it because the homies were already like, that's it. We can't keep him with us anymore because he just was like in his own little world. We used to keep him. He'd go back and forth for court to Indio, to Blythe, different places, and we'd always bring him to the tanks and just take care of him. You know what I mean? Because everybody knew him. Like everybody grew up with him. And that fool was righteous. But whatever happened, so this was his story though. He swears to God that that they zapped his brain with some green light. Like, he has this whole crazy story because he's like, "I'm not fucking crazy. This happened. This is what happened to me. That's why." And then he swore to God that this chick was in his head, and that was his whole trip. And he'll be like, he'll tell me the story sometimes, and I'll just listen to him, just entertain him. And he'll be like, "Come on, fool." He's like, "You know me, dog. You know me. I'm not fucking crazy. Like, this bitch is in my head. She's the one."
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
And he tells me the story how he was walking by the mountain back there in La Quinta, and he was walking with his dog because he had badass blue pit. And and he was walking his dogs back there by the mountain, and all of a sudden he just seen this big old green light, and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, and he goes, I know it sounds crazy, fool. I know it sounds crazy, but you know I'm not crazy, fool. You know me. And I'll be like, damn, it's convincing because I do know him, and he's trying to have a normal conversation. But then he would just go, like he'd get off in the little viajes, and so it was just a trip. But when I got that letter from him when he was in Pescadero at the state hospital, and he's telling me like, hey, fool, like, you try to talk to my lawyer, maybe you could, like, you got to get me out of here, dog. I'm going to come back. Like, I'm cool. These fools are tripping. There's a bunch of weirdos here. And I'm thinking in my head, like, fool, they got you right where you supposed to be. I don't ever, but I don't know what happened. I don't ever know what happened with him or his cases or anything, to be honest with you. Like, I never even, like, he just disappeared in the system.
Hey, so.
You know? It was crazy, but we ended up.
Is Atascadero, is that still open, or did they end up shutting it down?
I don't know. To be honest with you, this was
kind of out of our range.
Yeah,
yeah.
I try not to keep track of the psych ward
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they where's that at? Where's the Atascadero? That's up north somewhere, huh?
I believe so. I know I've seen the only reason I know about that place is because I think MSNBC went up there one time. They did like a episode on that place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that was like some years back.
The real ones, though.
Yeah.
That's where they send the real deal. That's like a patent.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think even worse.
Yeah, you ain't going nowhere.
Right there, Jesse.
Yes.
That's the end of the line right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Keep talking with an Oklahoma accent, Jesse. You're gonna be right there with them.
Yeah. Yeah. Your next stop from there is a rubber room.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, my brother works in one of those places. I got a brother that works out in one of those institutions that hold that holds those type of people, and he has some way out stories.
Yeah, no, it's real. Mental health is a real thing. You know what I mean? Like it's not even that's not even a joke. That's just real shit. You know, like that's why it's just it's just tripped out, like, to hear that, like. And I know, like, exactly like you asked earlier, like, I've seen a grip of dudes come in. Like, when I used to be in the county, I used to be grateful. Like, man, I'm glad I'm in here because, you know what, I look at all these some guys that I knew that, like, solid-ass fools. You know what I mean? Like, cats that you would never, there was no inkling whatsoever that this dude ever had a screw loose. You could see some cats, like, if I ever lost my mind, people would be like, oh, that don't surprise me. Like, straight up, because there's all kinds of fucking indicators that I was going to go crazy at some point. You know, but there's people who, like, that's just the reality. Like, if I was to go crazy, there wouldn't be a lot of people that are surprised. You know what I mean? But there are people who for me, you know, that I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I would have never seen that. My co-defendant being one of them. And I don't think he's, like, off in that world where like how I was talking about Pelon, or, you know what I mean, like, you know, somebody, but he's definitely not playing with a full deck entirely. But he's my crime, he's still sharp. He some of the shit's just off the wall, I guess, from what I'm hearing. But it might have been some bad stuff too, though. No, well, that's what it is. That's what's getting them, and that's what I was getting ready to say, that some of these vatos would come back in. I'd see them come in. You got to remember, I got busted in 2001, so I stayed in the county jail all the way until 2008. So from 2001 all the way to 2008, I was in the county jail. So over those years, I watched people come and go, and I would see them come in 2001. All right, what's up, fool? What's cracking? Oh yeah, you know, I would just see them out there, so I wasn't out there too long ago. You know, like, oh, that's right. And then I'll see them come back again in 2003 or 2004, and they'd be like, oh, like Dave said. Now they're not shaving right. They're coming in off the street looking a little busted. They're not shaved up. Their hair's looking a little whooped. You know, and I'm like, okay, fool was probably on a good one. He was on a nice little viaje here. Maybe he just wasn't taking his hygiene as serious as he should have, you know. But he's gonna be all right. And then you talk to him a little bit, and a lot of the gibberish, and it's like, come on, fool, like, come on, you've been in here a month already. You're still talking that tweaker shit. Like, go to sleep. You know what I mean? And then they're there 3 or 4 months. And it's like, okay, this fool's not he's definitely still, you know, he's fucked up. But it's not like
sober.
He can't even get sober. But the thing about it is now. But I'm not ready to put him in a crazy box, because that clear juice be making motherfuckers act some kind of way. So, and I know that because I've been on drugs my whole life, my damn self. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, you know what? This fool, he he went on a good one. He's gonna need a year to get right. And then you'll see him come back in 2005 or 2006, and they're full blown fucking just like straight hobo status. Like, what happened?
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Some of these people, I've known their family, I've known their mom, I know, like, you know them forever, and it's just kind of like, damn, fool, like, what's up with you? And you're trying to do everything you can to be cool with them, you know, but so you see the slow deterioration. So I used to think in my head, you know what, man, I'm glad I'm up in this bitch, straight up, because whatever they're putting in these motherfuckers out here on these streets, these fools are like, more often than I would like to admit, I've seen people come in like that, you know what I mean, like that dope, that bath salt, and whatever else they were giving these fools, like literally, it was tearing up these fools' minds, and they were coming back. And that fool, that's what was crazy about that fool Pelon.
Gonna hang up right now.
He didn't use drugs like that. That was the one thing that tripped me out. We're gonna call back.
All right, for sure. Hey, and M-Star and Mad Max, I'll go ahead and let them know the message that you put on there. Renee writes, love the decor, on point. And just if you're wondering, because I know you might be wondering, why does he have prison phones on his wall if they don't work? Oh, but they do work. You'll hear them ring. You hear the phone ring on my computer, and then you'll hear the phone ring on the wall right there. The really loud one is the one on the wall. They both work. They have they each have individual numbers. There it is. You can hear that. Can you hear that? There's a second ring.
This call is now being recorded.
Global Telling, usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello. Hey, so before you continue, I want to read off a message. So we got Mad Max 408, and he writes, saludos, James, David, E, Jesse. And then also,
What's up?
M-Star Media writes, I'm so proud of these two men, the growth from them. I can't wait for them to reunite with their families and loved ones.
No, thank you. Yeah, and we feel that support though from you guys, you know, especially from you and Mad Max. We do feel it, you know, the people that come on here and spend these hours with us. You guys are just as much a part of our journey now as anybody else, you know, that knows us.
Which is why I'm brokenhearted that Chubby Jessica doesn't come on anymore, because she was a regular fixture around.
Yes, it's devastating to Jesse.
It's devastating.
Devastating to Jesse. And yeah, we're not gonna. Yeah, go ahead.
So she says they'll get at you in a month when their account gets restored. Also, if you could let Gary know, if you could shoot the wheel or pass the wheel to Gary, let him know that they'll be in contact with him once the account is restored. Don't worry, she hasn't abandoned you guys yet, because I know we all of us got abandonment issues, so it's not that.
I'm glad she understands already.
Yeah, I was freaked out. I was like, oh no.
There was a couple days there I thought Dave was going to be in a safety cell.
Yeah, I was 2 shades back behind the window.
Yeah.
So, you know, but hey, you know what I was thinking? I was like, man, I'm telling you, James, when I was back there in the hole for a long ass time, and I didn't have a cellie, you know, like I was in solitary confinement, but I was like, man, this would be a great time to start hearing voices. I need somebody to talk. I'm serious. I was like, man, I need someone to talk to. Something. I was just. It's hard to explain like how isolating that is. How just boring, you know. Like, man.
You know what?
Get up every single day. Go ahead.
I had this experience one time when I was up in Wayside one time on E-roll and Medium. I think it was Medium North, and I got framed.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I got framed by this sheriff named his name was Shoulders. Man, I couldn't stand that fool. I ended up in the box I don't know, I don't remember if they call it the box or the shoe in county, but man, I was there for 2 weeks, and when I came out of that place, when I tell you that was probably one of the happiest days of my life, just, you know, other interactions, you know, walking back into that dorm, all the voices,
Yeah.
all the noise, the TV on. It's like, man, it was like sensory overload. Going from nothing to like hearing now these sounds. It definitely has an effect on you.
Yeah.
So I could imagine people that have been there, back there for decades and stuff. The damage
Yeah.
that is done on their mind, man. I couldn't even imagine.
When I was doing that research, I read that they don't know any specific amount of time that it takes before before you have irreversible harm
Mm-hmm.
from solitary confinement. They don't know if it's they have studies that said that as little as 14 days, your brainwaves start to slow down right off the bat. You don't have any type of like stimulation.
Mm-hmm.
It's just white walls. So there's nothing to like stimulate your mind. You can't see outside. You can't see if it's night or day. There's sounds that happen that you become familiar with. That's how you can tell. Like in the morning, when you can hear the keys they get transferred from one shift to the other, so you know that that's around 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell. Jesse and I, we still hear that. Like, oh, what is that sound? Oh, you can tell that they're exchanging cuffs and pepper spray and stuff like that. So you can hear those sounds. When they're hooking their keys up. So okay, that's 6 a.m. And then you hear the tray slots. Like every other day or so, you'll hear the tray slot open for razors, and you could tell, okay, it's razor day, and you can hear the tray slots opening all along, the hole of the shoe. And then the days where they don't do razors, you hear the tray slots for breakfast, but you can hear it off into the distance, And then the slamming of the tray slots is terrible. As soon as they give you the trays, they walk around and they slam them all, and it's metal on metal. So inside of that little cell, it's like something that's just like fuck, They didn't do it gracefully. And now, they did. In the hole, they have because there was a lot of people they were dying. A lot of people were killing themselves, or people were dying in the cells, and so they were saying, well, when's the last time you saw this guy? You're saying that you did an hourly walk, but this guy's been dead for freaking 2 days.
Yeah.
And so they say that, so they put these little metal things on each of the doors, and they have like a little sensor pad on there, and the cops, they walk around with a baton every 30 minutes. And so now every 30 minutes you have a cop walking by your cell and hitting that baton against your door to touch the sensor. And so now and then it beeps. So you got to hear that damn beep every 30 minutes, and the baton hitting the door, And it might not sound like that bad, but when you're in there and those sounds, you become like oversensitive to things like that. And then the vent, the vent's really loud too. So you're basically just stuck in that little cell with the vent blowing, and it's just nonstop, just like a wind tunnel. And so that kind of gets annoying after a while, It's usually really cold in the hole, so you don't have sweaters and stuff like that. When you get to the shoe, you can get a sweater, but when you're waiting in the hole, what we do is we usually get an extra pair of socks, and that you're not getting more. So you usually get like 2 pairs of socks, and one pair you'll cut, and you'll wear them like sleeves. That's how you got to do it to keep your arms warmer.
I remember that.
Remember that? You gotta use your socks or sleeves.
Yep.
And, you cut parts of your sheet to wrap your head like a bandana if you got to keep your head warm, or you just wear a towel over your head or something.
Damn.
Hey, James.
Yeah.
Remember I was telling you about that thing, that post that they had on TikTok?
Oh, yeah.
On TikTok about the channel?
Yeah.
So my boy gave it to me. My boy gave me the pictures of it. I have it right here. And so what it is from what I can see is they posted on the Centinela wife's channel, right, on the wife page. It's but the picture is actually a Global Tel employee standing in front of like a big screen TV, and in the background it has the logo on a big screen TV, and it has Global Tel like a ticker going across the top of it. But So it looks like she got it off of the Centinela. No, because it has a TikTok thing right here too. Oh yeah, it is. So I think it might be the TikTok page for the Centinela wives or something like that. But the picture is actually Global Tail people, and then one of the other ones it says it says inmate calling, controlling communications. GTL inmate telephone system is the most scalable and feature-rich communications platform available in today's dynamic corrections environment. And then it has like the wet mark. What is that called?
A watermark.
Watermark. There you go. It has a watermark in the background with the TikToking in the background of it. And it's the watermark and the TikToking is our logo.
Yeah.
And it's a flyer. It's a GTL flyer. Like I can't really read.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
It has it's basically like a policy, some sort of GTL policy paper or something. And because it says GTL offers a variety of calling options. More information can be found on network.com. But it has a bunch of shit. But anyways, the whole point I brought that up is because they're using the freaking logo. They're using it for whatever promotional purposes they're using it. So I don't know if you got a trademark on the logo yet or not, but you might want to find out why Global Tail's got our logo on their TV, and not only that, watermarked on the back of some of their posts. Like they're trying to act like they're directly connected to
you have a collect call from.
See that right there?
Yeah.
That don't make no sense, you know.
Yep.
You can't call it. It says GTL able to get search warrant issued to search your home with a question mark.
You consent to be tracked by them. How do you feel about that?
Oh,
that's the post on the prison.
No. I know I posted that video up. Yeah, no. Yeah, I posted that video up. Yeah.
It's ours.
Yeah, no, I posted it up. Oh, okay, so what? Okay, this is what happened. So I came across this video on the GTO website, and that's the question I put up there. Yeah, so no, that video I posted that video up because what they were talking about was that they're able to track because you give consent, you know, on your phone. When you accept these phone calls or you receive messages or whatever, you're consenting for GTL to track your location. They know exactly where you're at. They track all the messages you're sending in and out, and they're able to obtain search warrants based on these conversations that people are having. So like, let's say, like crimies, you know, they go bust a holly, one of them gets away, and then the one that's locked up hits up the one that got away, and they're sharing information. You know, based on whatever they're talking about, GTO or you know, assist the authorities on getting a search warrant. And a lot of people are not aware that they're giving GTO this consent to be able to be tracked. So they know exactly where you're at, you know, just by you know, sending messages back and forth. So that's why I posted that up, you know, to make people aware of, you know, what is it that they're consenting to when they do you know, when they do video calls or sending messages back and forth on those apps.
Oh, so that's you.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, I was like, hold on, that sounds familiar.
You gotta tell us before you get, you know.
Yeah, you gotta let us know before you start getting on conspiracy theories like the other crazies.
That shit made its way in here, and they're like, hey, Holmes, I gotta talk to you, eh?
Yeah, I got,
you know,
you like, hey,
and you vatos better watch your back, eh?
Passing cartons of cigarettes under the table, and they're talking.
Yeah, and I was like, orale?
Yeah, orale. They're looking around the corner with mirrors. Looking around the corner with mirrors, and they're like, "Hey, you're with the Global Tail vatos?"
The Global Tail vatos.
Hey, you know the collect call vatos? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, hey, we have no affiliation with the authorities. We're not working we're not in cahoots.
Yeah.
No, they were just tripping out because I took the logo to school.
Uh-huh.
I did a public. We just finished a oral communications class, and I did a speech on the podcast, a public speaking speech, an informative speech. Like to tell people what we're doing with the channel, why we elected to start it, who this, that.
Yeah.
Just I give and somebody see. I took the logo. Remember you sent us that big old printout of the logo?
Yeah.
We put it in a big old picture frame. We have put it in a big old picture frame. We have it hanging on the wall. So I took it to class with the little one you sent with like all the bookie photos around it. We got that in the corner, and so I took it and I hung it up on the back on the whiteboard, and I stood behind the podium, the lectern, and I did my public speech, and one of the homies in there, like the next day when we were at the body shop or 2 days later, he was like, hey, he goes, I knew when I looked at that thing, I was like, man, I know that thing. I've seen that before. I've seen that somewhere. Ooh, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it dawned on him, and he's like, well, look, he goes, I'm LOP right now. I'm going to get my tablet back in a day or two. When I do, I'll be able to check it out, and I'll let you know exactly what it was. But I know it was something about this, that. And so he told me about it, and he was like, I'll get it printed out, and he got a screenshot of the video, and then he printed it out or something like that. So I was like, all right. So.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. That's what it was. Man, I wish I would have put this together last time when you guys mentioned it to me. I was like, man, that sounds crazy. But yeah, I put out the video just so people would be aware of what they're signing up for, because a lot of people don't read the terms of service when they sign up for these applications.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Well, we know what it is. You could do another call, James?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. We still got some time.
All right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Hey, M-Star Media, you're definitely right there. You're definitely right. So I do appreciate you guys, whether you're listening in on TT or YT. I know I was asked, when am I going to do the next court hearing? I probably won't be available till like about 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But I do run these hearings, even though when I'm not on TikTok doing these hearings, I'm running them on YT. So if you ever want to listen to the hearings, obviously I won't be there. Sometimes I'll just, a lot of the streams that I do, I'm not participating on them because I got other things going on. But I'm going to be on the one at 10 p.m. later on.
This call is now being recorded.
Global Link. You have a prepaid call from
David Lopez.
an incarcerated individual at the Centinela State Prison, Centinela, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now.
Cinco.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Hey, James.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to hold up. Dave's over there washing the dye out of his hair and cutting the mustache off that he's been growing because he was going undercover because he thought that we were wanted by the feds.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah. So he's like, hey, I got to change my disguise. I got to change my appearance.
Yeah.
Watching us.
I got them highlights. I got highlights in my hair, like California.
Yeah, he got his tips frosted like Slim Shady in the early 2000s.
Hey, let me ask you something, Jesse. So I know earlier on you mentioned that you fought your case and you were in county for like 8 years. When you left, do you know if the deputies threw a party when you left?
Oh, absolutely. They were. This is how bad they wanted me out of there. I had picked up a bunch of cases while I was there in the county. I picked up a bunch of cases, and so the last about 2 months. Matter of fact, it's funny because my homeboy who I was talking to earlier, the one that was telling me about my crime, we were all actually sitting in the tank together, and they came to the tank, and I had been in the hole for the last 2 years, and I had finally gotten out of the hole, and I got to my jail in Indio, and they put me in the tank with my little homie. I used to call him my son, and a couple of homies, and I guess all kinds of shit was happening all over the jail, but it had nothing to do with me, you know what I mean? And they pulled me out. They said, look, man, ever since you got here, all this shit's been happening, but it was just pure coincidences, And so they were like, look, we're gonna put you back in ad seg right now just for a little bit. When the dust settles, this and that, well, just a bunch of nonsense. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what does this got to do with me? Like, like, ain't nothing happening in my tank, Like, so what does that have to do with anything? So anyway, they put me back in the hole, and and I got shipped to Blythe, to AdSeg, to Blythe over there, and I came back down for court, but I was only in Indio because I had court, you know, and so I came back down to Indio for court, and I'm not really tripping because I have a bunch of cases. My actual case itself was done. My controlling case was done, but I had a bunch of in-house cases, so they were going to sentence me, and then I was going to start fighting my in-house cases, all the cases that I picked up, and so when I get there, the captain of my jail was actually the homicide investigator on my street case. Now he's the captain, though, at that point in time. So he hated me. You know what I mean? He hated me because I terrorized him during my trial. When he was a witness in my trial, I terrorized him. You know what I mean? Just made him, you know, just because I was representing myself. So it's like I got to pretty much do whatever I wanted in there, you know, ask whatever I wanted, make a spectacle of him, make him feel like an idiot, you know. And so now he's the captain of my jail. He runs my whole jail. And so when I come down from Blythe for court that day, I get back to Indio, to AdSeg in Indio, and I come out for court in the morning. I don't know exactly what's going to happen because we're supposed to go. I'm supposed to continue my case and decide, because I had told them, like, oh, I'm going to represent myself on all my in-house cases. And the judge had, the previous court, the judge had told my district attorney, look, man, I don't know if you understand, you know, what's going on here, but Mr. Not, oh, you know, my bad. Matter of fact, oh, wait, hold on. These fools are going hard. Juvenile detention center's in there. Yeah. So he, the judge was telling my district attorney, like, look, I don't know if you understand what's going on here. Like, Mr. Nava was just found guilty of first degree with special circumstances. You know what I mean? So in case you don't know, like, he's going to receive life without the possibility of parole plus 10 years. So he gets to do his 10 years first, and then he can start doing the I'm never going home sentence. Like, the judge is telling my district attorney that, right? So she's trying to tell her,
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
My judge is trying to tell the district attorney to dismiss all my other cases, you know, and the district attorney's like, well, I don't think that he should be rewarded just because he's serving life. I just don't think, I just absolutely don't think that's the case. And so the judge tells my prosecutor, well, what you need to do is you need to go talk to your supervisor, because in case you forgot, you represent the people. The people are the taxpayers. So the reality is, if you want to continue to waste taxpayers' dollars, because Mr. Nava, and he looks over at me right in the middle of why he's telling her that, and he's like, look, Mr. Nava, he goes, I totally get it. He goes, you got nothing to lose. So I would be doing the exact same thing as you are. I would absolutely go pro per, and I would absolutely waste the court's time and waste taxpayers' dollars. If I was in your shoes, I'd be doing the same thing. Yeah. This isn't your responsibility. This is hers. And he turns around. He hated my DA. That's why my shit came back, though. That's why it came back on appeal, because he granted a motion, you know, that was supposed to do it another way. My attorney sat down and said, I'm not going to waste any more time in this trial because you automatically got an appeal. That's how I went back on appeal. She goes, he knows what he's doing. You know, he's been doing it 30 years, you know. So anyway, he tells the prosecutor, he says, look, go talk to your supervisor. And he goes, because in case you forget, he goes, you represent the people. The people are the taxpayers. So if you want to continue to waste taxpayers' money and clog up this courtroom docket, go ahead, keep doing what you're doing, but go talk to your supervisor and try to resolve this situation. You know what I mean? I want this out of my court. And so they put it off for a month so that she could go talk to the supervisor and figure out what they were going to do. And because I had an aggravated mayhem, I had a weapon, I had a Pruno case, I had just a bunch of stupid charges. You know what I mean? Like the aggravated mayhem was the main thing she didn't want to let go, because that would have given me another 19 to life. So she was just like, no, hell no, I'm not going to let this charge go. And when I actually came back on appeal, she goes, this is exactly why I wanted to take him to trial. This is exactly why, because when I came back on my appeal, she was like, well, I wouldn't even have to worry about it because he'd already be doing life for the in-house, you know, for the mayhem. And so they wanted to give me another life sentence for slicing some dude in Southwest in another jail. But she so she was like, all right, I'm going to talk to my supervisor, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be going to trial with these other cases. And so when I went back to Blythe for about a month, and when I came back down, I come out of the hole, and the captain's standing right there, and he goes, hey, you know what's going to happen today? And I told him, nah, I don't know. And he says, I talked to the district attorney. He says, they're dropping all your charges today. And I go, so what does that mean? And he's like, well, if I have it my way, he goes, you'll be in state prison tomorrow. And I was like, all right, well, that's cool. And literally exactly what he said, that was Friday. I went into court. They all charges dismissed. Let's go. You know what I mean? Head forthwith to prison. That was Friday. On Saturday, in the morning on the weekend, they took me on a van to Riverside Jail. I stayed all night in the holding cell for 2 days, and on Monday morning, I caught the bus to freaking to prison.
Yeah.
That's literally they were in all cahoots to fucking get me out of there. But because I had terrorized that place for years, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Because at the time I knew I was gonna get life without. I had nothing to lose. I was trying to make a name, you know what I mean? So in my mind, I was like, let's go. You know what I mean? They used to use videos that they made of me getting loose in the other jails for training videos to deal with like group disturbances and melees and shit like that because they, you know what I mean? Like I used to be over there just wilding out, you know what I mean? And you know how it was, because that's how it was when you came back with your life, man.
Yeah.
The only difference is, well, I mean, for any of us, life was life, but I had actually life without, so I for sure didn't care.
Yeah. When I went down, they picked me up on the in-house, the kidnapping case, you know, and when I came down, it was funny because they asked me, they're like, well, we're taking you off the chain. They picked up a kidnapping case on you, and I was like, well what year? What year?
Which one?
Yeah, give me
more details, times and dates.
Yeah, I need more detail. I'm not
a victim name at least.
I'm not following you. Yeah, you know. And they told me the year, and it was during the time that I was incarcerated, and I was like, well, did they just file on that date? Like, what do you mean? You know, I said, damn, it was locked up, and I was like, all right, well, I wonder what situation, because if they're twisting some stuff up like that, you know. I'm like, I wonder, it could have been a number of things.
I remember, too, when you got busted on this murder, like a year and a half, 2 years later, I remember hearing from everybody, like, man, this was over there wilding out on the other side.
I was tearing this side. I was tearing this side up.
Every time I'd run into somebody, you know what I mean, like on transport or something like that, they'd be coming from over there, they'd be like, man, this was wild. And that's your homeboy, right? So, yeah. And it's like, man, that was over there. You were in C3 at the time.
Yeah, I was.
C3 for a long time, and I remember every time I'd run into somebody over there, what's up, my boy? Oh, he's right there. That was a madman. They used to trip out because I was on the line, and everybody's just like, what's this motherfucker worried about somebody over here for?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I was over there raising hell, James. So when I got picked up, you know, and they did the same thing. No, I had life. So they asked me, you know, they held me in the county, and they're like, well, I told them, look, this is how this is going to go, basically. You know, I already got life. I do not care. I'm going to be down here fighting a case that I don't care about either. I'm going to go pro per. I have the best interest to stay in county as long as possible, be close to my family. Let's do this, you know. And so they ended up throwing a deal. They wanted me out of there, but none of the jails wanted me.
Nope.
Yeah, they didn't want me.
Hey, David,
to answer your question, though, James?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead. So I was going to say, to answer your question, though, there was a lot of cops, though, to keep that shit 100. There was a lot of cops that came and got at me before I left, though. Like, a lot of the administration, the gang unit, certain administration cops that were like, they hated me just because they were on some cops and robbers shit, and no matter how hard they tried, like, they couldn't stop me from doing what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like, in the end, you know, because I was in control of the whole jail system, the whole Riverside County jail system for years, you know. And so they no matter how hard they tried, they put me in isolations. They put me in, you know what I mean, did everything they could. They took all my phone privileges. They would escort me to court by myself. I was no longer allowed on the bus. They would put me in a cop car with a sergeant and video cameras with a car with two cops in it following us and our car. They would escort me straight down the tunnel, straight into the courthouse, back, all under camera, straight back to the jail in Riverside. And they did this. They went through this whole poncho to try to like keep me from you know, maintaining communication with the fellas on the line and continue to, you know, to do what I did. And they were never able to stop me, and they hated that. Administration hated that, you know. And at the end of the day, if I told one jail like, hey, fuck these dudes, terrorize the jail for a while, you know what I mean? Like, they're gonna understand. They're gonna come ask me for a favor. I need this right now. And they knew that, and they hated that, because it's like they get paid all this money to stop it. I look back at it now, and it just seems.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
It seems like pure ignorance, you know what I mean? But it was pretty silly, you know. But that was administration. The reality of it was, like, before I left, I had a bunch of cops, you know, like at least a good 10, 15 different cops come down. Even in the other jail in Riverside, when I was in the basement for those 2 days waiting to catch the chain out, everybody kept coming down to my cell and stopping there and hey, you're taking off, you're gone. Hey man, check it out. I just want to say thanks for everything, because a lot of times the cops would literally come to my cell and they'd be like, look, Nava, I don't understand. Every day we come to briefing when we do shift change, and they sit in there for 30 minutes talking about you. They try to make you sound like this freaking monster. They try to tell us this. They try to get it, because what they were trying to do is they were trying to get everybody to treat me and see me the way that they did, like this nuisance. But these cops are on the floor dealing with me every day. They interact with me every day, and I would be respectful with them. I'd be all right with them. I'd be cool with them, and they would tell me all the time, like, man, I don't see that. I just don't see what they say. I don't get me wrong. I know who you are. I know what you've been doing, but at the end of the day, you've been nothing but respectful with me when you're on my shift. Like anytime I've had a problem, I've been able to come talk to you, and you put it to bed, no matter what jail I was in or where the problem was, and so we appreciate that, because you made our job a lot easier, and so it was just kind of funny how the powers that be were happy as hell to see me leave, but the people that are actually on the floor working with the rest of the inmates and the rest of the population were kind of like, man, it's going to be fucked up once you're gone. We know that, because usually when somebody leaves, it becomes a power vacuum. So they know, what I mean? Like with me, they knew if something happened, like if there's a bunch of dudes getting drunk and acting disrespectful in one tank or kicking off riots or doing some dumb shit, they can come down there like, look, like, this is what's going on. If we have to go down there again, we're going to fuck that whole tank up and everybody's going to get sent out. And I'll be like, all right, give me a week, And I would be able to get at the homies like, hey, check this out. This is what they're saying. The reality of it is you guys don't want to leave. So kick the fuck back, put the pistol on hold for a little bit, and just to give them their peace, give them their respect. And a lot of times that's how I was able to get around doing a lot of the shit that I did, because a lot of the cops on the floor were kind of like, man, we're not trying to be fucking with this fool. Like, they get paid all the money to chase this fool down. Like, we don't get paid for that. We're just trying to run a jail.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
And a lot of them were like, man, well, good luck on your journey. Hopefully everything turns out all right for you, this and that, I was like, well, I'm out of here. I'll find a way to come back.
It is, yep. Hey, James, you got one more call. You got to go right now.
We could no. You call back. I still got like about 7 or 8 minutes. So go for it.
Oh, all right.
So this is the upcoming call. This will be the last one. I got some pending things I gotta take care of here in the house. But I will be back tonight. If you guys like watching those court hearings, I'll be back tonight at 10. We're gonna be doing 10 o'clock is gonna be Maricopa County in Arizona. So I'll be here for that one. All right, and then I probably won't be on. So let me see. So I'll probably be on Monday in the morning and Tuesday in the morning, and then I'll jump back on Wednesday. For those of you that like those
This
court
call
hearings.
is now being recorded.
Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
5.
Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello.
James, what's up?
What's up? Hey, you know what?
Hey, what's up?
So I was gonna mention to you because we haven't talked about it. So back to North Carolina, you made that connection. You hooked me up with Ray Jennings. For those of you that are not aware, he was wrongfully incarcerated, wrongfully convicted for a murder that happened up in the Lancaster area. Back in this happened, I think I want to say 2000, I want to say, and then eventually the DA was able to get a arrest warrant signed for him. About 5 years later, he went to trial. He took it to trial 3 times. The first 2 times there was a hung jury. On the third time, the jurors deliberated for 30 days, and ultimately they found them guilty of second degree unaliving. They gave him 15 years for that, 15 years to life, and they gave him a 25-year enhancement for the pew for the
like what I got.
So they gave him 40 years.
Firearm,
Yeah. So he exhausted all his appeals through the court system. So he didn't have any action coming his way. But with him going on Dateline, that actually helped him out. It connected him with the lawyer that saw his case, and he was intrigued by it, and he ended up reaching out to Ray, and that lawyer wrote I guess like a statement or affidavit to the integrity unit that the DA had just opened up to look into.
Conviction integrity.
Yeah, conviction. That's what it is. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. And
conviction integrity unit. Yeah.
So that DA ended up pushing it through. They took him back to court, and ultimately he was exonerated, and he was released on that day, and that was 9 years ago. So.
Crazy, yeah.
David made that connection. He mentioned them to me. He was like, "Hey, I know, like everybody, he would be different. He would provide a different angle of a journey going to prison. Compared to everybody else that's been on. Like you guys. Obviously, you guys actually did what you guys are in prison for. In his case, he was innocent, and he didn't have any. He had never been arrested before, so." He went in as like a regular Joe into the LA County jail system, and ultimately into the California Department of Corrections. And he shared that journey with us. We met up with him. I was out in the sticks, out in North Carolina, and it's definitely eye opening. I still haven't uploaded the videos yet. I need to start clipping them up, and I'll have some free time this week coming up. So over the next few weeks, I'm gonna be clipping it, and then ultimately I'll release the full interview. And man, it's a crazy story, man. Like there was a point when he's sharing journey with us, because it was me and my cousin that went over there. Yeah. Man, I was about to start crying. He shared like a powerful moment where he mentioned that people are always asking him, how much money they broke him off with, and he was like, what, people are focusing on the wrong thing. All the time that I lost, I can't get it back. My daughter was 6 months old or 5 months old when he went in, and when he came out, she was 11, and he was like a complete stranger. They didn't, I mean.
Yeah.
So and then man, it got quiet for like, I want to say like a minute, and it just felt like it was like the longest minute ever, and I was like, damn, man, that's the reality right there, that he missed out. He can't get back the time that he missed out on.
And that's unfortunate, man. And I'm really happy that you got to make that connection. And we're always looking for stories that our viewers can connect with as well. I want you guys to understand out there what incarceration is. We're real people in here. Well, Jesse and I, you hear, we joke, we're like brothers, right? This is my boy right here. We go back to the streets and everything, but we're lifers. We both made decisions that people are not surprised that we're in here doing life. Anybody that knows us seen us coming a mile away. Does that mean that we're bad people? We took a wrong turn, and we got our lives on track, and we're better people than we were back then. But at the end of the day, we make better decisions because we were always good people. We always had good hearts. It's just, circumstances to our making led us down this path. And we try to become the best versions of ourselves today, be better men than we were yesterday. Now, this individual, I wanted you, the viewers, to experience what it must have been like, for this guy. He wasn't from the system. This can happen to any of you out there. This guy was innocent. He did nothing. Matter of fact, all he did was he was cooperating. He cooperated with the police for an investigation that happened where he was there. He saw something. He cooperated, and just like that, his world was flipped upside down. And I thought that, you guys should have the opportunity to experience what that must have been like.
Yeah. And he was at work. That was his second day at the job. Yeah, he had worked for that company, but that was his second day working at that particular location. It was a Metrolink station in Palmdale, Lancaster area. And on the second day, it went down. And
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
This guy was in the military, right, James?
Yeah, he was. Yep.
Yeah. Served his country, did everything that he was supposed to be doing, got a job, cooperated, and just like that, and it could happen. And because I meet people in here, Jesse and I, we meet people in here all the time, and a lot of these guys say they didn't do it. They say that I introduced you guys to innocent Derrick.
Yeah.
There's a few other people though that, they say they didn't do it. They're fighting for their lives, and I don't know. I can't call it. If I would have met this guy Ray, if I would have met him, what would I have thought? I would have felt like a straight scumbag. I would have been like, I'm gonna go introduce this guy to innocent Derrick. They can go and be innocent together. And this guy really didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they made a lot of mistakes. Like they didn't swab his hands for any powder.
Yeah. Oh, gunpowder. Yeah.
I think that's like that. They
what do you
think
call it?
the
GPR, something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, residue.
Yeah.
GSR.
GSR, that's what it's called. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
So a lot of mistakes were made.
Yeah, it's just
a lot of rookie mistakes.
I hope you guys out there, listen to this story and really, this is something that, this is I guess it's a powerful thing. You guys are going to meet somebody who was really wrongfully convicted, just like you interact with Jesse and I. You interacted with people that say they're innocent in here, but we don't know. But now you guys are going to actually meet somebody through his story that went through this. This isn't like this isn't a Dateline special. This isn't somebody, you turn on the TV and it's over in an hour and that's that. Like, no, this is live at Collect Call From. This is from us. This experience, And maybe one day, James, after his story is out there, maybe he could come on from time to time,
Yeah.
Spend some time with the viewers.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Yeah, now that we made that in-person connection, that's the only thing, I feel that me not meeting up with people that are out here in the real world in person, it would be cheating myself and the audience from like a genuine interaction. It's for you guys, obviously we got no choice, so we got phone calls and we do video visits and whatnot. But if you're out here in the streets, I can move around. I'll make whatever arrangements I need to do, to make that connection. I don't care if they're down the street, if they're in another country, if wherever, if there's a plane, a train, or whatever, I could take to meet up with these people, I'm willing to do it.
Yep.
As long as my wife is cool with it. If my wife, says no, then I'm not going to go.
Of course.
But other than that, I'm going.
And my wife. My wife has to be cool with it too.
Right? Yeah. So, we did talk about, meeting up in the future. So, and I definitely look forward to that. And, share his story, but through his words, not narrated by Dateline NBC, the way he saw it through his eyes.
Yeah, and I think that's what's that's going to be a very powerful thing. I wish I can hear it. One of these days I will, when I'm out there and I get to hear what it is and the emotion, the raw emotion where you're like, man.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
You've listened to our stories, and there's times where when I was telling mine, we all have that moment, We have that moment where I talked about what it was like for hugging my mom for the first time after she saw me and I was on the 180 level 4, It had been 8 years since I had actually got to hug my mom, to see her in person like that. And just that experience, it was hard. It was a hard thing for me. So, you had your moment, James.
Yeah.
But you held it together for us.
I try, and also, I want to take this opportunity too for those of you guys that are like, this is the first time that you would hear, Jesse and David's voice, and you guys want to know their backstory. I would recommend and strongly suggest for you guys to go over here to YouTube at Collect Call From, go to the playlist section, look up, you'll find Jesse Nava and David Lopez, and listen to their journeys, from the first phone call that we had, and it was over many phone calls that we did these interviews over. So so you could get to know them, without all the joking and everything, just going through their story, and then you'll know exactly how they ended up where they ended up. Also too, we got video visits on under the profile on TikTok. If you go to profile and then go to a playlist. Look up for the Facebook FaceTime playlist, and we got videos of us interacting in the real world, and I'm able to show them and share with them the things that the places I'm visiting, and the things that they're missing out. But hopefully, they're able to once they come home, they're able to do these things.
Yeah, when we told our story, we went all the way from our childhood throughout. Jesse and I both went through the system young, so we talked about it. What it was like to be to go into the system as teenagers. How our journeys kind of collided. Through gang involvement and whatnot. And then we get all the way into the actual crimes that we committed, and moving forward into the system, as lifers, So yeah, it's a lot, man, and we invite you guys to share that journey with us. It's crazy, James. That it's been a while. We do joke around. We do try to have a good time with you guys, and we can't. At the end of the day, like me personally, right? I've healed from my crimes and from the traumas that I went through. I feel like I have moved forward in my life for the most part. I still struggle with things. I don't use drugs or anything like that. I'm not fighting nobody, but yeah, I have a hard time sometimes. It's not easy being, waking up every day and, looking at these walls. We're in a cell right now. Jesse and I were both cellies, we're roommates. So at least I'm in here with my boy, someone I've known forever. So it's not as bad as if I'm up in here with a bunch of strangers all the time. We got a couple guys in the yard that we've known for a long time. Long time.
Hey,
it kind of helps. Yeah.
Mad Max, I just read a message that Mad Max put on here. He said, David and Jesse have very interesting stories. Definitely go check them out. And then he also puts, even though they're from down south, David and Jesse are both good ass dudes with good hearts, and they're very both intelligent.
Yep. Even though,
You better get in there and stick up for us.
Yep, better stick up. Don't remember. Remember my journey in SNOWDEN. I talked about you, homies.
Yep. And M-Star Media just wrote.
Yo, homies.
M-Star Media wrote. Look who's talking. The northern defector.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
That was deep, right?
Yeah, I was gonna throw it out there, but I was like, hold on.
That was deep,
man. I'm pretty sure he's of the mind that ain't nothing left. He's double left now. He got himself a wife down south.
I got to see a picture of you guys, man, and it's something that that's not suspended, and I'm really happy. You guys look very happy together, man, and I'm very happy you guys found each other. We love having you guys in our life. Can't wait till you guys are off sea status.
out of the brig.
Yeah, you guys are out of the hole. Hey, was that the 60 seconds?
It is. Hey, call back.
Want to send a shout out?
Yeah, you call back, so like that is not rushed. All right, we'll go ahead and do it, and not under pressure.
We gotta do a free N-Star Mad Max.
Free Mad Max and N-Star. Let my people go.
Yeah, let me call back.
All right. Hey, what's up, Sierra? How's it going? Hey. So right now I'm doing calls from prison, from Centinela State Prison. I'll be on tonight for the 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time arraignment in Maricopa. Yeah, I got some other things going on in the next few hours. But if you want to tune in to the hearings without me, just jump over to YouTube, go to @CollectOutFront, and the streams will be running. But I'll be on for the 10 p.m. for those of you that like my antics and whatnot. I'll be there. Be there or be a square.
This call is now being
Este
recorded.
es Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
5.
Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello.
What's up?
All right. Yep.
Nah, Yeah, so James said he had a prior engagement, guys. So I guess we got to go. It sucks. I guess I'll just go back and I don't know, find something to do in the cell. I'll just go stand at the window. I'll go stand at the window. I'll go stand at the door and look out into the day room. You know what I mean? What other kind of prison stuff? Jesse will start freaking. He'll start chiseling chess pieces.
Whittling. I'm gonna be whittling some shit.
He's gonna whittle. How do you say it?
Whittle.
Whittle.
Yeah, whittle. I'm gonna whittle.
He's gonna go whittle something. Yep.
I'm gonna whittle.
Yeah, I'm gonna go etch in another day on the wall, on our wall calendar.
Yeah.
Hey.
No, but I just wanna. Yeah. What's up?
I got a question from Mama Bear. She writes, James, ask the guys if I could get a hello.
What's up? Hey, who's this?
Mama Bear.
Mama Bear?
Yep.
Hey, Mama Bear, what's going on? I'm glad you're here.
That's right. We send ours to
Yep.
Mama Bear. Don't know who you are, but we appreciate you being here.
You do.
Yep, definitely. Get a shout out to Mama Bear.
Yep, shout out.
You got any jars of honey there? Is what I want to know.
I feel secure. Yeah, with Mama Bear here, I feel secure. I feel like everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah, everything's gonna be all right.
Yep.
Oh, Mama Bear, is that the one? I don't know. I was gonna say her son's busted.
No, that's
that was,
yeah, you're talking about Maribel Vasquez. Maribel. Oh, and she got out. He got out. He got out.
Did he?
Yeah, he ended up taking a deal, I think, with a strike, but he's out.
I was worried about him, man. I ain't gonna lie. I thought he was gonna have a rough road here.
Yeah, it wasn't sounding good for him.
Yep.
Definitely. Oh, that's cool then. Well, it's not Mama Bear. She doesn't have her son in here. Maybe she does, but definitely we send ours to you.
Yep.
Thank you for listening.
Yep.
Thank you for the shout out.
Feel free to always come back. Spend time with us on the channel.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, well, we got to roll right now. It's about dinner time anyway. I'm glad we got to spend time with you guys. I just want to give a shout out to my beautiful wife and all my loved ones out there. Loyal listeners, viewers, people that always come back to spend time with Jesse and I. Mad Max Full Weight, Star Media.
Yep.
La Pepper Spray Girl.
La Pepper Spray.
What else do we have on here? Yeah. Hey, Iceman, wherever you are.
Yeah, what's up with Iceman? We didn't see no Iceman or Fish Layer today on.
So you know what?
Because she's really the one that lets this all happen.
I think I seen a Iceman pop up, but he didn't say nothing.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I did see him pop up on TikTok, so but he didn't say nothing.
That's
so,
cool. That's
but yeah, he's
right
here.
There.
He's in the background listening.
That's cool, man. That's the boy right there. Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
Marlene.
Marlene,
down there. We send ours to Marlene. If Chubby Jessica comes on and listens later, we send our love to her.
Hey, what the hell?
Yeah,
we're looking for way of intelligent questions.
Yeah. Where's all the good questions? And all the other loyal listeners.
Yeah. Jasmine says say hi. Says hi.
George Diaz.
Hi, Jasmine. We send ours to Jasmine.
Oh, Jasmine. What's up, Jasmine? George Diaz. I know. Keep an eye out for George Diaz. It's a slippery one.
That George Diaz is a slippery character.
Yeah, slippery character. All right, but yeah. So I guess we'll cut this feed right now.
All right.
And we'll try to get back on as quick as we can.
Yep, it was good hanging out with you, James.
Yep.
Have fun. Hopefully everything goes well for you with whatever you got planned right now. And you already know where we're at. Hit us up at the Hard Rock Hotel.
For sure. We
don't say don't drop the soap. We say don't drop the body wash. We're bougie now, you know.
Somebody's be punching the air, man. These Jesse and David cats, man. Nah, they started off with the promotion of the SNY side. Now they're promoting don't drop the soap. These guys just gone too far now.
Those guys, them vatos, man. Them vatos were tripping. Yeah. Well. Hey, oh yeah. Before you go, you know why I always say like a candle in the wind? You know where I got that from?
No, from where?
That's Elton John, Holmes.
Elton John? Ora.
Yeah.
Speaking of
shower. Yeah, he drops the soap in the wrong place. No, he freaking Yep. No, Elton John, man, he's an amazing singer. But yeah, from the history, but he has that song about Marilyn Monroe. He wrote that song. You lived your life like a candle in the wind. boom, it was over.
Okay.
That's that song he wrote. Yep.
Like a candle
You know,
in the
Life Like a
wind.
Box of Chocolates. That's Forrest Gump right there.
Yeah, yep. And
culture.
you know what it is with me? Life's like a candle. Yup.
Once you blow it out.
It's lights out.
All right.
All right, hey. Guys. You guys have a good one. Hey, nalgas tumbadas, man. Hey, man, I'm sorry to hear that your cousin is in coma, man. That's a rough one, man. Hopefully he makes a recovery and he gets back on his feet. But come on, James, you don't know Elton John, Candle in the Wind? Nah, man, I live under a rock. James is oldies. Nah, I'm not even into oldies like that. But I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream. Hey, I do appreciate all of you guys tuning in. If you haven't done so, please do so. If you're on TikTok, please hit that follow button. It's free 99. Doesn't cost you nothing, not a red cent, nada. All you got to do is just go, boom. Just hit that, I don't know, somewhere on the screen. Just tap it. You guys are always tapping on the screen, so it's nothing. And if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. It's free 99. If you hit the subscribe button on TikTok, I think it's $4.99. So don't do that, all right? Because I'm not trying to take your money. I know times are rough right now. Eggs are like $30 for a dozen. Milk is like $8. So yeah, no, save your money. Save it. I just need your follow. We're trying to get to the 5K on YouTube. We're trying to get to 20K on TikTok. And you're the people that could get that done. Anyhow. I am Collect Call James. You are watching. You have a Collect Call from. And like I said on here, life's like a candle. Once you blow it out, it's lights out. And with that, we're out. A rato.